Broome men who cable-tied children made lawful citizens arrest. In Western Australia, this is in short, Western Australian man Matej Radalik has appeared before Broome Magistrates Court after cable-tying the hands of 3 young children in Broome in March. 6 months ago. The trial largely focused on whether the 46-year-old's actions were reasonable and necessary after he found the children swimming in his pool. The verdict was reserved, and Mr. Radalik will appear in court on October the 4th. Alright. He cable-tied the hands of 3 young children in Western Australia's north, has faced trial, with his defence lawyer arguing his client carried out a lawful citizen's arrest. So he cable-tied these kids' hands, they were in his fucking pool. Police prosecution labelled the man's actions dehumanising towards the children he restrained. He appeared in Broome Magistrates Court for a trial on Thursday after pleading not guilty to 3 counts of aggravated common assault in April. The incident in Broome, which was live streamed to social media, showed 2 young children with their hands cable tied together at a Cable Beach property in March 5. I've been to Cable Beach. It's ironic. Police later confirmed 3 children aged 6, 7 and 8 had been restrained by Mr. Radalik after he discovered them swimming in his pool. The video of the children and subsequent media coverage made international news. These cable tied their hands together. Like, it's not 3 individual pairs. There's 6 motherfucking hands there. Cable tied at Cable Beach. The police prosecution and defence agreed on the statement of material facts, with Mr. Radlik admitting he cable tied the children's hands together before phoning police. Yeah, okay. The facts stated that the children's actions, notwithstanding their ages, constituted trespass and criminal damages to the Cable Beach property. However, the crux of the trial focused on whether the force Mr. Radalik used against the children was reasonable and necessary. His lawyer, Seamus Rafferty, submitted to court that the 46-year-old was a victim of crime, as his home had been broken into 4 times between 2003 and January 2004. 2 months, 4 times. But did not make any suggestion the children were involved. And he live streamed it. He also told the court the local police took 37 minutes to respond to the 000 call, prolonging the time the children were restrained. 37 minutes that's bad. 37 minutes is a long fucking time, man. The court heard audio from the 000 call made by Mr. Radalik, in which he asked police to come to the property and assist. Body-worn footage from police officer who spoke to Mr. Radalik after the incident was also shown, where he spoke of recent damage to his property. There's no consequences for anything, he said. What would you do if you think I need to go to jail? I will. Detective Sergeant Jared Collins, the investigating officer, confirmed the incident had been flagged as a lower priority 3 for police attendants. When questioned, Mr. Rafferty, Sergeant Collins confirmed, when questioned by him, Sergeant Collins confirmed he wrote in his running notes that Mr. Radalik had lawfully executed a citizen's arrest. Okay. Sergeant Collins also said police had altered the initial charge from deprivation of liberty, I don't know what that means, to aggravated common assault. 000 is 911, yeah. But if you called, it's a universal number. So if I was in America and I called 000, it would route to 911, vice versa. So if you're in Australia, you dial 911, it'll route to 000. So I'm pretty sure it's the same thing no matter where you are in the world. It's just ironic that Americans have 911 after 9/11. You know, it's like, we get it. You guys really don't want to forget. Anyways, police prosecutor Michael Gregg argued that while he did not have an issue with a citizen's arrest being made, the children's compliance in leaving the pool and sitting down meant it was unreasonable for Mr. Radalik to have cable tied their hands. There was a dehumanizing effect of trying these 3 children with cable ties. It catapults it into the unreasonable, he said. To be honest, let's be fucking honest, okay? If the kids were white, they wouldn't be calling it dehumanizing. And he probably wouldn't have cable tied them. For those that aren't aware, Broome is very... There's a lot more Australian Indigenous people in Broome. No, you say Lamau, but that's the truth. There are a lot more Australian Indigenous people in Broome than I think anywhere else in Western Australia that's along the coastline, at least. That's probably where a lot of the Indigenous Australian population is. That's not further inland. Maybe down south towards Albany might be more, but Broome is where a lot of the Aboriginal people are, right? ironically, there's also a lot of crime involving Indigenous people. Now, they're only kids, right? You probably don't need to be cable tithing them, but this would not, like, 100%. If they weren't Indigenous kids, he wouldn't have cable tied. You can tell that, like, he's pissed off, right? He's fucking sick of it, and he's just gone, yep, I'm cable tied these motherfuckers and calling the cops. It's citizens arrest. I mean, it's a grey area, right? You know, like, I don't know what to make of it. I'm not a judge or a cop for this reason, you know. Told the court, like, in his mind, he's just fucking sick of people breaking into his house. 3 kids are in his fucking pool in his back garden. They're on his property. Now, the American way is to just get your gun out and shoot, right? That's what you guys would do. I don't know if you would if they were kids, but he's just cable tied them and held them there until the cops get there because he's fucking sick of it, right? He's a fucking unit. Look at, oh yeah, he's a big boy, right? He's just fucking sick of it. How you gonna do the bikie boys like that? Bikie boys in Northern Territory. To be fair, he would be found responsible if those kids drowned back there. Absolutely. If the kids drowned in his pool, he would be probably down for like manslaughter or something, because there are laws when you own a pool in Australia, right? You have to have a certain gate that are a certain height that make sure it has to swing shut and lock. Your windows that are facing the pool have to be bolted so they don't open more than this much. If kids jump your fence and drown in your pool, he's going to be facing jail time, right? So I don't think he was like, oh, there's black kids in my pool, better tie them up. Like, he's just like, there's motherfuckers in my pool. I'm sick of being broken into for the 5th time this year. I'm cable tying these guys, calling the cops. The cops taking 37 minutes to get there is not his fucking problem. Like, he called the cops. Okay, like, he wanted to deal with the kids and then call the cops. Like, this guy doesn't need to be in fucking court for this shit. It's the same in much of the world. It's called an attractive nuisance. I don't know what that means. Those are words I don't understand. How old were the kids? 6, 7, and 8. Age 6, 7, and 8. So they're young kids. Young kids. They're under 10. Technically, they're below the age of criminal responsibility. It doesn't mean that he can't go out of his way to detain them, right, and get the cops around. Old enough to know better. They probably are not being parented well. It's very common. I've got a cousin who has adopted 3 Aboriginal kids now from Broome, and they all have the same mum, 3 different dads, and it's just like it's not very good. Where are the parents? Exactly. One of the dads is in prison. The mum is always on drugs. That's why they're able to adopt the kids full time. They're their kids now, right? Because the mum's always on drugs and disowns and bullies one of the kids because she doesn't like the dad. It's very common. Very fucking common. Do you think he told the cops I have 3 kids cable tied? He probably said I found 3 kids in my fucking pool. I've got them detained. Can you come get them? Like, sort this shit out. Feel the kids have made a mistake. It's bad parenting, but I have a big-ass dog. How much do you think I'd be out of pocket if the dog got them? Exactly. So I don't, like, if you want to call this dehumanizing, I think you're just trying to reach for a fucking settlement in court at the end of the day. Like, this is just the police trying to fucking get a win. It's not dehumanizing. It's 3 little kids in your fucking pool. That's what it is. Kids that you don't want in your fucking pool. Mr. Rafferty said the citizen's arrest was required to identify the children who were trespassing. Mr. Rafferty urged Magistrate Dean Potter to acquit his client in all counts and remove emotion from consideration of these facts. Exactly. Which they shouldn't be having emotion in the facts anyway. That's the point of being a judge. Police covering their asses for taking 37 minutes to show up. That's it. Case is not about optics, not about emotion, race, or vigilantism. What my client did this day was lawful. After listening to all the evidence, Magistrate Potter said he would reserve his decision on the matter. How the fuck are you going to reserve your... What sort of judge reserves their decision on the matter? It's fucking... How hard does it need to be? I don't feel like it's that difficult. It's classed as citizen's arrest. Yeah, that's what they're saying. It's lawful citizen's arrest. Mr. Radlake was granted bail to reappear on October the 4th. He's got to go another month. Probably unable to work or hard to have, like, struggling to have a job now. all this inconvenience because this magistrate can't determine, well, they're black, so was it racist? Like, they're trespassing in his fucking pool. The alternative is he lets them drown. Or he doesn't notice and they drown. Right? Was the cable tying necessary? Probably not. But they would just run. Right? If he didn't restrain them somehow, they would have just ran. 100%. And I think it's better that they could be cable tied and sat down than him physically fucking grabbing one. Look at the size of this cunt. He's a big boy. If he's just grabbed one by the arm, all it takes is a bruise or some sort of damage for it to be way fucking worse than just cable tying them and be like, you guys fucking wait here. You know? Cable ties are a bit much. What would you do instead? Because there's no way that I can tell you right now, they weren't going to sit there and wait for the cops. They would have done their best to get the fuck out of there. So that's the other thing. What would you have done? Could at least use rope. True. Could have used rope. If he had it, who knows? I don't know. It's situational, right? What has he got in the shed behind him? Call animal control? You need to not be racist for like one fucking stream, please. Should put the pink fluffy handcuffs we all have instead. He doesn't have those. I don't know why the race card is even there. Oh, I do, because they're Aboriginal. Just that's why it's being there. But that's also like, that makes it worse. Like that makes it stupid. This isn't a race thing. This is motherfuckers in his pool. Restrain them in a sensible manner. He put them in the shade so they're not directly in the heat. Like he either lets them fuck off or he grabs them and gets accused of assault. That's it. Doubt those cable ties went on without a little bit of force, but also fuck them kids. Well, that's it, you know? I feel like if you're gonna, regardless of how old you are, if you're gonna break into people's houses and trespass, you should be thankful that it's only cable ties holding you guys together and nothing else. If he had a dog, if he was a nutcase, if it was a crackhead, if it was someone younger, that's, you know, someone younger, more aggressive, like more around their age even. You know, anyone could, like, there are people that would have fucking just attacked them. Cable tie is better for hand, better than rope, for sure. You reckon cable tie is better than rope? Cops use cable ties sometimes. I don't see anything wrong. Look, this judge is a bit of a fucking joke. I can't believe that they are reserving the decision. Like, how do you not look at this and go, why were these kids in his back garden? What were they doing? Do you think he will move after this is over? Sometimes you can't move. He might not have the money. He might be working local. This is 4 or 5 times. Like, I wouldn't live in Broome for reasons like this, because I know that there is a high crime rate and there's a big problem with, dare I say it, being white in Broome. You know? That's the same reason I wouldn't live in a place like Alice Springs, because it's either corrupt police that are heavily racist, or you are a victim of being assaulted and abused all the time. It's a problem in Australia. So, I just wouldn't fucking live there, so I don't know. I just confront the parents. One of the parents is likely in jail, and the other one probably will fucking attack you if you try to. Plus, how are you going to find out who the parents are? They're not going to tell you. Cable tie is better than rope, but I bet he used what he had on hand. How often are you looking for a way to restrain someone? That's it, you know? Decision is likely reserved so the judge can write a judgment that sets a limit on what citizens' arrest can occur, especially involving children. Oh, you might be right. You might be right, but 100% those kids would have ran for it. Like, you got to apply common sense, you know? Is David Grohl one of them dads? No. No. They're too old. That's funny, though. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Some Western Australian news for you guys. Yeah, the Court of Condor. Judge Condor says, not guilty, let him go. Fuck them kids. That's what I say. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him, goddamn. Fuck me, look at that boy. It's huge.